Hello everyone, it's Birdie here, the recycled hippie chick. Okay, I have got so much. I have to go clean a house today, and I just hate to go when I can't. Like, I feel like I need to get my hands dirty first, although they are dirty from pulling weeds in the yard. But last night I started some hidden paper clips. I stuck them on here to dry. And I thought, well, I need to get those decorated. So those need to be done. I wanted to show you, this is my slow stitch a square a week because I haven't slow stitched a square, but I had to go to ball tournaments all weekend last weekend. So I took my handy dandy little, well, I should have, I've shown you my little sewing pouch on the go that I learned from Janet Nash. I took that with me, and the first 2 days I did this scrappy little heart, and then the last day I did this little mushroom. So that was fun. So I have those, and what I'm thinking, what am I going to do with all this stuff? This is a little large for me to leave camping. I could probably leave this camping, but I thought I might make me a Recrafted by Carol is making, and I think she's doing it from Roxy's Creations thing that you guys do. What collaboration? I'm not sure what those things are, where you say, like, my slow stitch a week, you know, anybody that wants to join in and do that. I think Roxy's done for several years a slow stitch book, and Recrafted by Carol has done one also following her. So I may put a little book together, and I know Christina's Shack has made one also. She's got a cute little slow stitch book. So I may put a book together and put these in it. We'll see how many I end up with. So also, you know, I got my first ATC from Janet Nash, and it had one of her cute little fairies on it. I adore her little fairies. Look at this little mushroom down here. And Janet loves houses. She loves windows and doors, and so she's got a, you know, like a little door to the fairy house, to the mushroom house. Anyway, I want to try to do some of this. So last night I made my first fairy. I was going to make it the same size as hers, a little larger. So I guess my brain doesn't go that small just yet, but I want to tweak her hair because Janet does all this cute shading and everything just the way she mixes up her watercolor. I'm not a watercolor person, so I was lucky just to get yellow on there. I had to put her little cheeks on with gelatos because her skin was too peach. So I added some color to her cheeks, and yeah, I want to fix her hair today with you guys. And I've got another little, she's a little smaller. I got another little fairy started, so I thought maybe we could just do fairies today. Oh, and I found this just laying on my desk. I thought these look very shippy, so I'm going to run and get my ship book, and we're going to stick those in the ship book. Okay, we'll do that first and get it out of the way. And yes, I know, I'm about to show you something that I broke down and did. I said I wasn't going to do, but dang it, I can't live without it. I did this last week. I bought more Fabri-Tac. I hated that I did it, but I need it. So there we have it. I'm back on the Fabri-Tac wagon again. It's expensive, and you can't find it online any cheaper. So, okay, this I think will just make a cute little tag, but this one, I think I want to put this I think I want to put this on there because I think it's cute. Yeah. So, anyway, that's what I did. I just like it. I like it better than that art, whatever you call this, what is it? Art glitter glue. I just like it better. For me, I can slide it around for a moment. The art glitter glue, you can't. Once you get it on there, you better get it on there where you want it because it's a done deal. Okay, now we got that, and I really need the back inked because the white bothers me. That bad boy's ready to go in somewhere. Now, who knows? I may glue it, but I've got, I don't know if I have any pockets empty in here or not. So, what have you guys been doing? Oh, looky there. A new home. Okay, let's just make sure. Let's just make sure there's not a smaller one somewhere. You know what last week was going to be on this day. Yes, it has been a week, and they've called me, and Forrest Gump's meat is ready at the butcher. They just called me before I started this video. So it's been 1 week. It was a very hard day, but God gave me peace about it. It was a very hard day. Anyway. But God did give me peace about it. I was calm. Calmer than I thought I would be taking him, and I was calmer than I thought I was coming back. I will tell you, my mind has played with me. Even this morning when I went out there to the pasture, I could hear him. I mean, I could hear him make the noise. I have heard that several times. I just hear them when I go out. When you go out anywhere near their ear sight, they go, "Mom, Mom." You know how they are. They just make you feel terribly guilty that either, number one, you haven't carried a graham cracker out there and give it to them, or you think, oh, those poor things, they just need me. They don't. That's just the sound they make. They just have a pathetic sound. So, I have heard that pathetic sound just about every single day. The baby, I ended up I was supposed to take the baby the day before I took Forrest to the meat market. And they texted me and said the dad had fallen at work and they were in the emergency room. Could they wait till the next night, which would be the night that I had taken Forrest. I said, yes, that'll be fine. Of course I can't say no. You know, the man hurt himself. So, the day that I took Forrest, I had the baby all day long. It was practically torture because he had never been alone in his life. So every time I walked in the house, wanted to go to the restroom, anything, he started screaming bloody murder. So I sat in the pasture with the baby all day long. Was not fun, but it was fun because I had never been able to just spend time with him because Forrest was, you know, constantly testing me, or I'd have to carry the trash can in between us so that if Forrest tried to get me, I had a trash can to stop him. So I wasn't really able to just give all of my attention to the baby. So it was kind of good. I went ahead and cleaned the barn out. I went ahead and got my gardening area set up. I did all kinds of stuff that day. While picked up sticks out of the, I hadn't cleaned up the pasture. I have not mowed the pasture for 4 years because the goats eat off of it and they don't like it after it's cut. So I just never cut it. I just never mowed the pasture. So, I did get to spend some time with the baby. I'm sorry, I'm trying to think and talk all at the same time. So that night, I took baby to his new home, in which made me feel so good. The only thing I had was last night we had storms here, thunder and lightning, and I was worried about. This is actually the first big storm this baby has ever seen because we've had a drought here and we just haven't had a downpour, heavy rain. We just haven't had one since this baby's been born. So I worried about him last night at his new home. He has 4 other goats, though, to be with, in which just appeared that they were going to love him. So I worried about that last night, but I took him to his home and they said, oh my gosh, you come over anytime to see him. We will keep you updated on how he is. And they have. She's already texted me telling me how he's doing. And they're the greatest family. The goats just love them. They have a nice grassy pasture like mine, and every night the dad comes home from work and every morning, he lets the goats out and they run up through the yard to their woods behind their house and graze in the wooded area. And it's like a ritual. And then he gets all their food and everything ready in the barn, and then he hollers at them and they all come back down. It's just the cutest little thing. So he's going to be so happy there. So I'm so thankful the Lord took care of me in giving me the desires of my heart for where that baby goat was going to go. So that's all over. That is all over. I mean, I have gone gung-ho out there. I've started tearing fence down. I've set up a gardening area. I found a farmer that gave me a bunch of mineral buckets. I don't know if you guys are familiar with mineral buckets, but they're great, huge tubs, about 3 feet in diameter and about 2.5 feet tall. That is full of mineral, and the farmers buy them. They're plastic, and they buy them and set them in their pastures, and the cows eat the mineral out of them. Well, I found this farmer, and he gave me 12 of them. So I've got them set up out there, ready to. I've been filling them up with cardboard and table scraps and leaves and green weeds out of my flower bed, and I probably won't plant in them this year. I'll just build and let all that rot and turn into compost. And then next year I'll be ready to plant. So yeah, that's what I've been doing. I've been busy doing that. It didn't take me long to get going from the goats being gone. I just was thinking, this is the first time in my 40 years of marriage that I have been without farm animals. Like, the guinea pig has passed away. That was a rescue, you know that. I don't just go buy guinea pigs. Ugh, no. No chickens, no goats, no donkeys, no llamas, no horses, know anything. And it was weird the first few nights to not have to go. Well, I went to the store and bought all this salad because every night I make the guinea pig chef salad. I bought all this salad and I didn't need to. And every night at 6 o'clock when I'd normally go out and do nighttime chores, it's like it hits me. I need to go do chores. Oh, no, you don't. It's crazy. Crazy. Anyway, it's all over. It's all over. Thank you guys so much for listening to me with my, whining and my goat saga stories and all that good stuff. You guys were real troopers. And who knows what I'm on into now, but it's not going to be animals, I'll tell you that. I'm excited to go camping without a pet sitter. That's what I'm excited about. Here we are all of a sudden. We've gone from fairies to decorating hidden paper clips. Ooh. Ooh, 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 ooh. Do I like that side? I mean, I've got enough to do both, so we'll just do both. One of each. I did something stupid. My husband blows out sprinklers for the winter. He has a few customers that he does that for. And one of them had the cutest little ranch-style house that they had moved into. They hadn't lived there very long yet. And the front flower beds were just in disarray. But they were easy, They hadn't been cleaned out yet. They should have been cleaned out last fall, but they weren't. So it was just a real easy. I said, oh my gosh, I would love to clean your flower beds out. And I would love to plant. It's like an open slate here because she hardly had anything in there. And she said, well, just feel free. And I said, well, I don't know how well I'll be able to handle it because I haven't really done anything like this by myself since I got the Lyme. And she said, well, just come and this would be great, give it a try. So I did. I went twice at 3 hours each time, and I did get it cleaned out. And I even drew her up a landscape architect plan, like a blueprint as of what she could put where, what would look good where, and all that. And I was getting her approval in case she wanted me to plant. I kind of had a plan on what I would put where. And so day before yesterday, Monday, I got the rest of the yard cleaned out. And I came home at 3 o'clock and I crashed. My muscles got so weak, I had to go lay down and I slept until 7 o'clock. And then I got up, I made supper and everything. I was so weak, I couldn't hardly hold my arms up. And then I went to sleep again, got up the next morning, got my husband off to work, and went back to bed until 11. So I decided I cannot. I got to tell her no. She's cleaned out. I'm done. I can't. I can't do it. So no more. No more seeing things and thinking, oh my gosh, that I could do this. No more of that. If I want to see if I can do something, I need to go out in my own yard and see what I can do in my own yard. You know it? Because when I'm down for 2 days like that, nothing gets done in my own yard. So that was fun, fast, and furious, and it's over. I think my Lyme is going to be since it became chronic, I think it's going to be what do you call it? Just I think I'm going to be able to keep it in check, but not completely gone. That's what I think is going to end up happening at the end of my course, because there's some things that gets damaged that just doesn't go away. Even after the lime is gone, some things just kind of, you know, it damages you. Like the ringing in your ears, the neurological stuff like the buzzing that you hear, the spiders climbing in your skin, the muscle weakness. Some of that just gets damaged, and I don't think you get it back. That's what I'm thinking. So I need to learn to start adapting to that stuff. That's what I think. I love doing this when I'm talking to you guys, because if I were doing this at night by myself, I sit here and overthink things so much. But when I'm sitting here gabbing with you guys, I just grab things unknowing and just stick them on, and look, it turns out adorable. I think it's adorable. I think it's marvelous. So, thank you for helping me do my art without thinking. Thank you for taking me out of my brain. That's what the Shannon Green's Journaling by Fives does to me, too. It takes me out of my brain and keeps me from overthinking. I love it. I should have looked back on, Janet Nash has a video on how she made a process video, as she calls it. Today, we're going to do a process video. She's so cute. I'm telling you, I just want to squeeze her. She did a process video on how she did her little fairies, and she shows a different kind of wing. I think she shows a different, you know, how to do the wings differently. And I should have looked back on that before I came on here to make these today, because I don't remember the different shapes of the fairy wings. I don't think the one she did on her process video was the same as this one here. But I'm a copycat artist, so I kind of need to see it in order to spark my creativity. So until I see it again, this will be the only kind of wing I can do, because I don't know. I don't know what they look like. I can't remember it in my brain. I feel like I'm going to try to make one today that looks like a butterfly wing. So, we'll see. You know, more solid, just for grins and giggles, so that there's a variety. I would love, the other day, she did a process video, and she did a whole jar full of paper buttons, so that she would have them when she needed them in her journals. There we go. We did four hidden paper clips. And now let's move on to the fairies. She did a whole jar full of paper buttons. I want to do a whole jar full of fairies, because I'm going to do a fairy journal, and I would like to have some different fairies to put in there with my mushrooms. I'm going to doll this up just to get my, are you guys seeing that? Yeah, just to get this clean because it has green in it. I'm just putting it on this paper, and who knows, I'll probably be able to use that for something. Turns it into painty paper, doesn't it? Okay, now I wanted to put a little bit I don't know how you do this. I don't want to mess it up because I just think her hair is adorable. And I'm hoping you'll be able to see the ink through that when it dries. If not, I'm in trouble. I think the ink is beginning to bleed. I don't know. Okay, let's blow dry it real quick. I may have messed up my first fairy. Okay, so this is something we've learned for the next one, is if you're going to do anything, do it before you doodle, okay? Because it slightly bled, but not enough that I don't still love it. Okay, one fairy down. So this fairy here, I don't quite know how to doodle her because I love her messy hair that makes it look like she just got out of bed. And I love the way Janet gives her little people just, her little fairies, just these little knobby little knees. So I'm attempting that, but there is an art. I'm giving her high heels. There is an art to making things look. She has an art to it, and I don't have that figured out. So I think everything up here is okay. I think I do want to do just a little bit of skin color. Not skin color, cheek. Well, there's more of an art to this. They make it look so easy. It's not easy. They know what they're doing. They just don't want you to think they do. Them girls, they know what they're doing. That'll just have to be enough. Now, I'll go ahead and cut it out while I'm waiting for it to dry. They make this watercoloring look so easy, and it's really not. It just literally looks like they're just slapping it on in an intuitive way, and I know there's got to be strategy there, because I can't hardly cut or do anything else today and think and talk at the same time. You know that's weird, because I can normally talk through anything. I have done something else that might be kind of crazy, but darn it, I'm going to do it. our trash went up. It's gone up in the last 2 years from $99 to $138. So I called them and canceled our trash. And I'm just going to take it to the dump myself. I have a trash barrel, a burn barrel out in the pasture. I'm just going to start burning. Well, first of all, any paper stuff I have, I'm just going to stick in the compost pile and turn it into dirt. And anything that can be burned, I will burn. I can't recycle because, you know, our city's done recycling. I've already told you guys all this. Anyway, I probably have. I'm sorry. I'm going to start taking my trash to the dump. We'll see how that works. My first turtle showed up yesterday. I was so worried about him because everybody else is... I mean, I've seen turtles on the road. I've seen other... I have another friend that has turtles in her yard, and she was showing how she'd had 2 or 3 show up already, and I had not had any show up yet. But yesterday, Jerome showed up. So I was so excited to see him. It's either Jerome or it's number 16, because the back end of Jerome, in which I've had for about 8 years, 7 or 8 years, I found him in a customer's yard, and his markings were so pretty. The back end of his tail flared up, and his green on his head was really lime green. So I brought him home, and he's been here ever since. And this turtle had the flare in the back. Now the green didn't, he was very limey green, but wasn't as pronounced as what Jerome's usually is. So it was either Jerome or it was 16, because I have number 16, and you know, over the winter, sometimes they're little, take this white paint pen and I put the number on the back of their shell, so in white, so I know which turtle I'm finding throughout the summer in the yard. And sometimes over winter, when they're dug up under the compost pile all winter, their number wears off. So this little guy did not have a number, but it had the flare. So I'm thinking it's Jerome, but we'll see. We'll see who else shows up. I think number 6 or number 8 is out there somewhere, because I seen a little tunnel in the compost pile, and I know 6 and 8 are in that compost pile. So I know one of them is out and about, because their little tunnel was open. I could see where they came out under the compost pile. Okay, now what I'd like to do on this one is I would like a magazine image. So let me grab, do I have a magazine here? What are these back here? Yeah, these are magazines. I don't know that pink goes very well. Let's use this one. So anyway, I have 16 turtles that show up in my yard every year. Some of them people have brought to me because they were on the highway and they had been hit. And some of them just show up. And I also have 2 babies that have came, and I don't know if they belong to, you know, some of my turtles. I don't know. I've had a couple pass away that I have found, and I keep their shells. They're sitting in here on my screened-in porch. So it's been fun. I have a book that every time I see them, I take a picture of them, and then I record who it was and where they were spotted in the yard. I have 3 watering pools for them. Normally, I use a saucer that goes under a plant, a drip saucer. And that's what I normally use. Well, this year I went out and dug a hole in the ground and poured cement and made little cement ponds for them to lounge in. So that's fun. And most of the time when I see them, it's in their little pool. Sometimes they'll soak in that pool all day long when it's hot out. My husband at this time always has to look under his truck because there's a couple of them that I don't know whether they hang out under his truck at night because the bugs are out, you know, and they're catching bugs. But there's many times we've had to move turtles under his truck so he could leave in the morning to go to work. It's just a joy. It brings me so much joy that they have chosen me to live here. Some of them we've had to doctor and, you know, fix their shells, repaired them. I have one called Gouge. He was in pretty bad shape when he came to me, but we glued his crack back together with epoxy in his shell, and it has grown back, and he has made a full recovery. So I keep saying he, it's a girl. A lot of them are girls. I've only got 3, Sassy, Jerome, and Sassy number 2. I've only got 3 boys. The rest are all girls. I actually went out to the goat pen. Oh, and I have a 3-toed. They're all ornate box turtles except for one, and one of them is a 3-toe, which the shell is completely different, and she is usually always out in the goat pasture. Lives underneath the grain bin right at the edge of inside the barn. Comes out, eats the, you know, if a goat's grain gets on the ground, they will not eat it. So any grain that gets spilled, I'm not seeing that other one. Any grain that gets spilled, they won't eat it. So the 3-toed has a feast out there. I've lost that. Isn't that crazy? And a couple years ago, I caught on video a mating time where one of the males had, you know, they were mating. And I got it on video and pictures of it because I'd never seen this ritual take place before. So it was very, very interesting. And I got that documented. And that may be where one of my babies came from. I don't know. Well, that upsets me because it was yellow. So we're just going to paint some yellow on here and try to recreate that. I like that little splash of yellow. Drying. Yes, we have moved on. We have moved on from Goat Saga to Turtle Saga. Never a dull moment at the Misfit Ranch. Because we are just the land of misfits here. And we embrace it. Okay, here we go. Now, you're not going to believe what I'm going to do next. I don't think I have enough. I'm sorry if you guys see the sleeves. I'm in my jammies still. It's just one of those days. We are going to go over this. I can't believe I'm doing this. Am I going to mess it up? I'm going to just tone it down a bit. And if we mess it up, guess what? It's a magazine image. Big deal, right? I don't know why. I just wanted a little bit of gesso on there. It just, the flowers seemed a little bright. Drying. Did that tone it down at all? Enough. I think she's marvelous. I love her messy hair. Love, love, love her messy hair. Just do a little bit of doodling on her wings and she'll be ready to fly. Okay, so I fell down the Temu rabbit hole the other night. Janet has been using some, well, hers is fancy honey watercolor, but it's, what do you call it when it's glittery? Metallic. She has this fancy metallic watercolors like gold and silver and bronze. And she's been using that on stuff and it's just adorable. And I just felt like I needed some in my life. So I was looking at the prices. Well, then Miss Moss Cottage, she was using it for something she was doing. And I'm like, darn it, I need this. I need some of that metallic. So I was looking and the prices are cray-cray on the internet. It's like anywhere from 12 on up for metallics. So, you know how when you Google metallic watercolor and it'll show all these squares. This square will say Amazon, eBay, Dick Blick, Temu. And the Temu was like $3.99. I'm like, what the heck? So I clicked on it. Takes me down this rabbit trail to, welcome to Temu, your first time here, get an item free. So I'm like, all right. So I look up the metallic paint and I'm going to get it free. And then it says, when I go to checkout, it says, wait, if you choose 10 items, you'll get 4 free. I'm like, oh my gosh. So I go to look for 10 items. Well, it's showing you these items you can choose from. So I'm looking at these items, and of course, it's only showing me art items. You know, it's like the algorithm shows you what it wants you to see according to what you've just bought, obviously. And I wanted a Voom Voom for my coffee. You know, the little stick Voom Vooms that froths your coffee? I have one, but I wanted another one. I should have got 2. Darn it. I only got 1. Anyway, I couldn't find them because the only thing it was showing me was... It was only showing me art supplies. So then I noticed one item on there was a cat. It looks like a bag laying down that has meshy top and underneath is solid. So when your cat gets out of the cat litter box, its feet touch it, the litter falls through, and then you just pick it up like a bag later and dump it. I'm like, oh, I got to have that in my life. So I picked that as one of my 10 items. And then all it started showing me was cat items and art supplies. So whatever you're picking, you know, that's what it starts showing you. I'm like, how can I get to the kitchen stuff? Because I want a Voom Voom. I'm just building dresses now, and I'm going to start building dresses for fairies. That's what I'm going to do. In case you're wondering what the heck I'm doing. So, I'm thinking somehow I have to find something on here that'll get me switched over, because it did not have a search bar. You had to choose your 10 items according to what they're showing you. I see these lights. So I'm thinking, okay, it looks like it's under a kitchen cabinet. Maybe this will take me to the kitchen area. No, it took me to a bajillion different lights, string lights, yard lights, garage lights, every kind of light. I don't know what I seen. I just kept clicking on things to try to change the algorithm. And I saw something that led me into kitchen stuff, and I found a Voom Voom. Down to the very last item I chose, I found a Voom Voom. So, I now have 10 items coming just because I wanted some metallic paint. I have now spent $36 because I didn't want to buy a $12 packet of metallic paint. Can you believe this? Can you believe how I am? They just sucked me right in, though. I mean, sucked me in hard. So, yeah. Then I turn on the YouTube, and Christina's Shack is on there. And what is she showing but her Temu haul? I'm like, oh my gosh, she got sucked down the trail also. Christina, did you do the 10 for buy 10, get 1 free also? Is that how you got sucked in? Or did you actually, you know, go there looking for something? Just curious. Well, then, when she has Temu haul in her title of her video, then all that starts popping up on my computer is people who are showing their Temu hauls. So, yeah, it's a thing on YouTube. People are showing their Temu hauls. So guess who will be showing you her Temu haul when it gets here? But I will tell you, as far as art supplies are concerned, oh my goodness. They are head and shoulders cheaper than other places. Head and shoulders. I don't know any other kind of dress to do. You know what I should be doing? I should be looking in a magazine and tearing out some women's dresses. See, I tend to just copy off of the one item here I have to look at. I should get some... I'm pretty sure Christina had a regular dress on her fairy, like from a magazine. Did you, Christina? I may have to go back and look at that. How many dresses can we get out of this little piece of color? But, see, well, I'll tell you what, for every fairy I make, I'm about to sneeze. Bless me. For every fairy I make for my journal, if I have, like here, I've got 3 dresses, then I'll put them in my happy mail, which I hardly ever send out. I have 4 ready to go today. I'm going to the post office. I got to go before I go clean that house. Let's just do these right now because I'm going to have to start getting dressed. I'll keep one and get rid of the other ones. That's what I'm trying to say. That's what I'm trying to say. I need to put this over here on this side. Do I have a hanky out here? Well, when you don't have a hanky, you have to use the baby wipes. Ugh, nothing like clean nostrils, right? Okay, now, let's see here. She mixed up. What I need is, I need a little... Well, here, this is where I mixed it up before. She had a tiny bit of brown. I need another paper because I hate rinsing off. See, I mean, that's good paint. I hate just dipping it in the water and not doing something with that beautiful paint that you're about to... Oh, that's kind of pretty. That's like a suntan girl. So we need a little neck. We need some feet. Knobby little legs. See, now this is the thing. It doesn't matter if your one leg gets fatter than the other or whatever, because you're going to cut it out. Or even if they're too long or whatever, because you're going to cut it out. And that fixes it. I'm trying to give her shading and it just doesn't work for me. Let me try it over here, because this is a whole different flesh color here. Okay, I'm getting more fleshy instead of yellow. So that's good. Get their little necks going. Get some little arms going. You don't have to do an arm. You know, you could make her arms be in her dress. like folding over. You could doodle them. On this one here, you could doodle them. This is kind of dark. Maybe fairies aren't your thing, right? Maybe you don't want to do a fairy at all. Maybe you're saying, Amy, I'm not a fairy girl. That's okay. You're still welcome here. Okay, so let's see here. Just for grins and giggles, let's see how that turns out while it's wet, putting that cheek color on there. Is it going to spread out? I don't know. Oh my goodness. Listen, they're fairies, right? But look at the painty paper I'm getting out of this deal. Her cheeks are not equal, and that bothers me. Now see, that makes the other one not as bright. That bothers me. Okay. So, nothing some ink can't fix, right? Is that right? And some hair. Let's get some hair going. Let's do a black-headed gal. Let's do... And remember, if her hair's too big, wide, or whatever, you can cut it off. She needs a bun. Let me dry this real quick because I'm afraid she's bleeding. Okay, I didn't want her to bleed into that. Now, I really feel like she's a little too... Maybe she just needs some streaks of brown in there. I may be getting a little too... needing too much detail on a fairy, you know? There. Oh, isn't she beautiful? What's our time? Oh, geez, 58. Can we whack on some... Let's get a redhead going. Can we get some hair done here before it's time to quit? Wow, she's really redheaded. Wow, she's like jet. Okay. And let's do a... Well, let's just go for it. I mean... I don't know why I love this shaggy. Maybe because it's easiest for me to do. What other colors would we have in with... with blue. Okay? Now, we're going to let those dry. And then I'll show you after I draw on the detail. It's just a matter, you know, of, you saw me, of just taking your pen and drawing the outlines. I just want them to dry real good. It's already been an hour. I got to get dressed and go clean Terrell's house. Go take my stale nuts back to Sam's. And then maybe we can continue on tonight. I always say that and I never do. So maybe, maybe not. We'll see. But I got to go to the post office also and get my ATC cards out that I'm for my first swap. I got one from Aunt Beck's Creations already. I'm sending one to the UK to Julia, and I'm sending one to Arlene and Christina. So y'all are getting ATC cards, and I have an order. Anyway, those are my fairies, you guys. We'll finish them up next time. Bye-bye from Birdie.